What's up, y'all? Okay, so the question that comes in sometimes is, can you trade off the 5 minute time frame? And for years, you guys know that I have not been that big of a fan of trading off the 1 minute and 5 minute, unless you are a professional scalper, meaning that you've been trading for quite a long time and you really understand the overall dynamics of the market, meaning where's the higher time frame and stuff like that. So I've always said no, I don't recommend that retail traders should start trading off of the 5 minute time frame. But with a B-U-T, no, I'm just playing. Uh, but I will tell you this, the only way that I would feel comfortable trading off the 5 minute time frame is with the ocean wave system. Okay. And here's the reason why. Because with the ocean wave system, now I understand at one glance exactly what direction the rest of the biases is going. Meaning, what are the other time frames doing higher than the 1 minute and 5 minute? So therefore, if I jump into a trade, I'm actually jumping into something where I know where the rest of the market is going at one glance. If I don't know this information, you shouldn't be trading it, which is why I have said for many years that I don't think retail traders need to be fooling around with lower time frames, because the biggest problem is the fact that you're trading in a situation that you don't know where the bigger picture is. So in other words, you're trying to scalp, and I've been saying this for years, you're trying to scalp, but you're getting scalped. Why? Because you don't understand what the higher time frames are doing. So the only way I personally would trade off of off a lower time frame is when I understand what the higher time frame is doing. So I'm gonna give you a couple of examples, which, by the way, this one we did send out an alert to our trade copier group, and we won some pips. I did close it out because I know it's going to be pulling back, which has already started to do, because it was already up more pips than this, and then it's pulling back. So I'll jump in on this later on. But this one I left running on this little account so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So clearly you can see this is saying that all of the other time frames up until the 1 hour, it's heading in the upward pattern. So when I took this off the 5 minute, hey, it's not that big of a deal. Here's another one that I caught very nicely. I already closed it out on my big account, because as you can see, it hit the average daily range. But this one already is bounced back to 4 pips, but at first it was down 20 pips or 25 pips or something like this, which is another reason why some people ask me, hey, why do you close your trades out around 10 o'clock? Okay, or 10 or 11 o'clock, which at the time of this recording, it is January 9th, 2024 at 10:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means that the Frankfurt market just closed and the London market is about to close. So therefore, what happens is it tends to pull back, do a pullback. So any money you made, it tends to pull back. So this was up just a few minutes ago before I hit this recording. To set up for this recording, it was up 20 something pips, but as you can see, it hit the average daily low, and now it's bouncing off of that and pulling back up. So again, I'm going to close this out. But as you can see, it did go down very nicely, very, very nicely before it hit that. Okay. Let's take a look at, so we looked at Euro AUD, and you can see this one is just dangling around. But again, I expect it to probably pull back a little bit, and then I'll, maybe get back in this one later, which, by the way, this one was really, really nice. That I closed out because we did take a trade on AUD JPY for 430 strategy. It was only a couple of pips lost, but then this one helped us to make that money right on back. So we still rocking and rolling for the copy group. We're doing very well there this week. Another one that I'm looking at is this one. See, so with this one, you can see that up until you got a little glitch on the 15-minute time frame, where its price action is hovering below the neutral zone. But outside of that, 30-minute, see, if you go to the 30-minute, look at there, fresh arrow sitting right there. And so therefore, I don't know why I got my stop so high up, but anyway, we'll do this. Okay, and I can put it right about there, which is above this high. Okay, and just let that thing sit, check in on the 30-minute, and that's basically where I'm going to put it, right above the arrow on the 30-minute. So either way it goes, you can see that this is telling me whether I took it on the 5-minute or the 30-minute. Doesn't matter. You can clearly see that this is one. Yes, it's doing a little hang around with 9 or 10 pips on this, so that's not that big of a deal. Who cares? You just sit and wait. But either way it goes, if I was taking this trade and just, which I did, you can see here's the arrow, most of the arrows here from the 5 minute up into the 1 hour, which is a good length of time, 5 minute up to the 1 hour, is saying downhill. Okay, and then you got your MACD set with our personal settings. You can see that saying down. So it's just a matter of just sitting and waiting on this one. Do you get what I'm saying? So the truth of the matter is, is that you can trade off the 5 minute, but again, me personally, do what you want to do until you understand what is going on with them higher time frames. I still to this day recommend keep your freaking hands off of them lower time frames. Okay, keep your hands off, because it's just going to kill your account. And the problem is that most of you guys who come into trading come in wanting to do what? Trading off the lower time frames, the 1 minute and 5 minute. You want to be a scalper, but you're constantly getting scalped. This is exactly the reason why. You have to understand the entire story before you start jumping into the lower story. In other words, and I'll say this and I'll be done with this video, I've said this for many years when I've been teaching for you guys, which, by the way, tomorrow's class on Wednesday, so make sure to come to class if you have any questions. But here's the point. I told you guys that I went to school for news and broadcasting, okay, because I did want to be a news anchor at one point, so I did go to school for news and broadcasting. During that time, it taught me a very valuable lesson about how news anchors in the field actually do their jobs, or even in the studio. So what happens is that when you see them, unless they're action people, meaning that storm chasers who's there on the minute, on the spare of the minute, and they're just reporting as the scene happens, or somebody who's reporting in the field about something that just happened, an explosion just happened, or there's some shooting that just happened, and they can't gather more data. Those are the only ones who are allowed to report into the minute. Outside of that, when you typically see somebody reporting in a studio, what happens is they have read from front to finish the entire story before they jumped on camera to tell you the little snippets of the news event. So what do you mean by that? In other words, we had to know what was the bigger picture from start to finish before you jump on camera and start talking about your little snippets of news that we were delivering to the people. Does that make sense? So the same thing is that we had to do in news, you have to do in trading in Forex. What is the bigger picture first? Get all of the data first. Then you drill down to your short little snippets. Snippets in Forex is like the 1 minute, 5 minute, and even sometimes the 15 minute. You're in and out real quick. So when you see news reporters giving these little quick snippets about a story that just happened, you know, in that, like, such as, oh, yesterday there was a fire, or yesterday there was this and that. So if they mention yesterday, that means they already know the whole gamut of the story, but they're only giving you little short snippets of it because they got to move on to other news. But it doesn't mean that the reporter didn't read the whole story. You get what I'm saying? So when you're looking at Forex trading, you want to be a scalper, you got to look at the whole story, because when you're trading the snippets. Does that make sense? You're trading on the little quick snippets of the move. But if you don't know what the bigger picture is, you could be trying to snip it in the wrong direction, which is quite typical of all retail traders who are trying to scalp. You wonder why almost all retail traders come into this market and they're constantly failing. Part of the reason why is because they're doing snippets on a story that they really don't understand. In other words, you're trying to trade report. We'll call it a trade report. You're trying to trade report on a story where you don't know all the facts. Ooh, that's deep. So until you understand the full story, you have no business trying to trade snippet. You have no business trying to do quick snippets on a story you don't understand, because you're getting it in the wrong direction. So with the ocean wave system, this is one that I now feel comfortable. If I was a scalper, I would feel completely comfortable trading as a scalper. Why? Because at one glance, before I see this arrow saying buy, I had the opportunity to do what? Look at the full story right here. Where is everybody else going? What is the overall time frame from the 1 minute all the way up until the hour time frame? Where are you guys going? And if I understand where you're going, then when I jump in on the snippet, the 5 minute or 1 minute time frame, and we take a look at the 1 minute on this. See, If I jump in on this 1 minute, which you can see, that's pretty much where my entry was, at least I understand where the rest of y'all are going. So now I feel pretty comfortable jumping in on this thing. Why? Because I understand the rest of the story. Does that make sense? Leave a comment below if this video was helpful to help you understand if you're going to be a scalper, whether you get the ocean wave system or you get something else, understand the bigger picture or else you're doomed. Sooner or later, you're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit hard because the market can spike in any direction. But typically, if it's going to spike in the bigger picture direction, especially during news events. If you haven't seen that lately or paid attention, a lot of these news events, when they do spike, they're spiking in the bigger picture direction. If you don't know what that bigger picture direction is, this is exactly why you keep getting whooped at the markets. Okay, so leave a comment below. I'll be really happy if you can leave a comment below to let me know if this video is helpful. I know I haven't done a lot of videos yet. I will get back to it. By the way, again, we do have the copy trade service. So if you're just sick and tired of charts, you're sick and tired of trading, then I completely understand. Trust me. Okay, so go to our website, superezcopycat.com. And you can go ahead and sign up for that. If you want the ocean wave system, you can get that as well. Basically, you can go to our main website, superezforex.com. Super, E as in echo, Z as in zebra, superezforex.com. And you can find these services on there, and it's up to you. But again, I just want to show you guys my theory on scalping. Okay, so that's that. See you in the next video, or I'll see you in class tomorrow, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is below to join.